Welcome to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. I'm Pete Mezzetti, and my guest, the topic of the evening is the Acton Public Library in the town of Old Saybrook, and I've got a panel of experts with me tonight. We have Amanda, who's the library director for the Acton Public Library. Welcome, how are you?
Great, how are you?
Good, and we have Nancy, who is the chairman of the board
of trustees, yes.
of trustees for the Acton Public Library. Welcome, how are you?
I'm good, Pete, thank you.
Good, thanks for coming down. So guys, maybe can you tell us a little bit about the Acton Public Library and what you guys actually do?
Well, we do a lot.
Okay.
We do a lot. We don't just check out books, although that is our bread and butter. We have tons of programming for all ages. We run summer reading programs. We actually are notaries in town. We have 3 public notaries. We run tons of book discussions. We have lots of different things going on. We have study rooms so people can come in and do tutoring or study privately. We're always expanding what we're doing for the community.
And Nancy, you have something?
Yeah, one of the things that I think we do really well is we provide a meeting spaces for various town boards and commissions, nonprofits, and special interest groups. And the meeting rooms, there's one large one on the upstairs, and there's a smaller one, and then a really small one downstairs.
Okay.
And they are continually used. So an expansion is a good idea.
Absolutely, and from what I see tonight, we're going to talk about renovations. Mm-hmm. So let's start. So I guess first question is why are we renovating?
Why are we renovating? Because the last renovation was about 25 years ago. And the way that libraries are used now they're not the way it was used 25 years ago. Oh, no. 25 years ago, I think the library was a quiet place just to go sit and read. Now we're, like I said, all the programming, all the meeting spaces, I think the community expects more. Right. And those are the things that we heard when we did a strategic plan. Mm-hmm. We surveyed 600 plus people, and they told us what they needed out of the space and out of the staff. And so with these renovations that we're discussing, we can then, help more of the community. So we're talking about things like the teen space and more meeting spaces and, upgraded technology, all those kind of things. So.
Nancy, you have something that you'd like to add?
No, I think that the surveying focus groups of our community. Yeah. Because we're changing to a community-based organization. All right. Rather, we're a town department. Right. And yet we have a major usage of the space within the library for many kinds of things that are not just town related, mm-hmm. but even regionally related.
Really? Mm-hmm. Cool. Nice. Now, when will the renovation begin?
Well, so we are currently in the fundraising stage. Okay. In November of 2023, we won a State of Connecticut Library Construction Grant, and that was for $2 million. So right now, we're in the stage of fundraising where we have to match that $2 million. Okay. And that has to be non-municipal funding. So the town mm-hmm. will cover the rest if we don't fundraise at all, right. But we need to match that $2 million with $2 million of non-municipal funds. So
gotcha.
You have the better numbers, but right now that's where we're at fundraising.
And I'll tell you exactly where we are, which is really exciting. Sure. Because from that renovation Amanda mentioned that occurred, we also did an expansion. We increased this footprint of the library. This time we're only renovating internal space. We're pretty tight there with where the boundaries of the library property go. But we don't need that. We need to redo the space. Right. And so the William and Ruby Tucker, who were active in that 1999-2000 renovation, when it was completed, they set up a Tucker Family Trust Fund. Okay. And so over 25 years, we now have $1,200,000 in the trust fund. Okay. Which is a huge help in matching the $2 million state. And then the library has been receiving donations for, a number of years for special projects, and now more recently for the expansion, I keep saying expansion, but I really mean renovation.
Okay.
And that has approximately, let's see, I've got my numbers down here, 186,000 in it. And then we have a separate fund that's being managed by the Friends of the Library, which has 6,000 in it. So all told, we have about $1,400,000 as we start
Wow.
fundraising. December 5th, we had the launch. That's exciting, isn't it?
That's
yeah,
cool.
we really
Wow,
are
that's
excited.
That's very exciting.
So, and I have even more exciting news if you want me to do that now.
You do?
Yeah, because on December 5th when we launched,
Yeah.
we had a matching fund grant of $50,000
Okay.
donated by Kenneth and Deborah Tucker Grass they would donate $50,000 in matching and then match another $50,000. So we really have another additional $100,000 that we're pretty sure we can do easily.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's even better. So now that's what, 1,500,000.
Okay.
Yeah. So we've got to raise about $500,000.
And now, how do we raise $500,000?
Many ways.
Okay.
Do you want to do it?
Well, no, I mean, I think we're doing direct asks.
Okay.
We're looking at different fundraising opportunities, hopefully maybe some cocktail parties. We're hoping to do like a comedy show at the Kate.
All right.
Maybe an auction. We've got a few different ideas. They're not fully vetted. We're
Right.
not 100% there yet. So we're working on that. We have 2 more years before we have to raise the funds. So we still have time.
Right.
So we're working on that.
Yeah, it's not like we got to do it now.
It's not like an immediate, but it's, I mean,
Right.
obviously the sooner the better, because then we can start renovating.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Now, what will the renovation focus on?
I think a lot of the focus, one of the things that when I first got there at the library, I noticed that the teens didn't have a space of their own.
Okay.
So I think for them to be the next generation of having ownership of this place, and as they grow in through, adulthood, they need a space of their own. Right. So they'll have a space where they can gather, they can study. We're also looking at an idea lab, which is, some people call it makerspace.
Right.
More meeting spaces. We're looking at extending the patio because during COVID we did realize that a lot of people utilize the outdoor space and they really enjoyed it.
Right.
So we can use that space better. We're looking at moving the children's room upstairs so that our children's room is inclusive, so that our children's librarian, their collection and their programming room is all in one space, so they don't have to be dragged away during the middle of a program. Like I said, we're thinking about some upgraded technology in our spaces, like some of the meeting spaces. I don't know if you've seen them; they're like pods, so you can have individual spaces. Because a lot of people, again, during COVID, they lost their office spaces, so then they could come into the library, use our free Wi-Fi, and then complete their work, and then they're not alone by themselves. So alone but together in the library. So.
Doing shows remotely through the pandemic, I can totally relate because it was very interesting.
Agreed.
So now, as far as we already talked about how much it's going to cost. Now let's get a little bit into some of the different programs that you guys offer with the library.
So we have 3, I guess you could say 3 main categories. Well, actually 4.
Okay.
So we have the children's librarian, we have a young adult librarian, and we have an adult programmer. And so we do story times. I mean, on a Friday morning, if you come into that library, the room is packed. It is not a quiet space. The kids are, they're jumping around, getting used to the library, enjoying the space. It's called Sing and Stomp.
Okay.
So they're singing, they're stomping around. Sometimes it sounds like the building is coming down, but it's such a good energy. Like I know the kids are really gaining, the love of the library through those kind of events.
Right.
And then our young adult they have craft times, and they have Dungeons and Dragons, and they have paint nights. And then our adult librarian, our adult programmer, she's got an amazing set of programs. She's got history, she's got crafts, she's got book discussion. She's also got a cookbook club, so people can come in and try out recipes, and they share, and it's a good community time. So
now, will you guys be open during the renovations?
Yes.
Good.
Our plan is to stay as functional as possible.
Right.
So maybe we'd have to shut down one portion of it while they're working on that, and then we'll do everything we can to keep that space open for the public.
Would you guys mind sticking around for another segment?
Sure.
All right, we'll be right back. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. I'm Pete Mezzetti, sitting here with Nancy and Amanda from the Acton Public Library. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So let's talk a little bit about we talked in the first segment about the project and the renovation, and let's talk about the funding sources for the renovation.
So every year the state of Connecticut has a library construction grant.
Okay.
As a principal public library, we can apply for funding.
Right.
For some libraries will go for, say, something like a generator.
Yes.
Or to bring themselves up to ADA
Compliance.
Yeah, exactly. We are already at those places, so we're very lucky. We have funding for those kind of things. But we did not have funding for a project like this.
Okay.
So we applied for the State of Connecticut construction grant. And this year it was $2 million.
right.
In previous years it was $1 million. So we were very lucky to get that grant. So we have up to November of 2026 to do the fundraising for that.
All right.
So, and that's for the non-municipal match for that.
Gotcha.
So, and then.
I was just going to take, it took 3 years
Okay.
to get all the data that was needed and do the various steps to get ready to do the grant. We did our strategic plan, but we also had another grant that we got through the economic help of the Economic Development Commission to be able to do a feasibility study, an architectural feasibility study, which was extremely helpful because an architect that was familiar with library projects came in and looked at the whole building, the staff, evaluated how we did it, had focus groups himself. And then we had an idea of what we could do with the space we have. And that, I think, was amazing. That was a real jump. And then we were able to, do after that, the feasibility study. Well, we went out and we started looking at architectural firms.
Well, we had to have an architectural firm do conceptual drawings.
Yes.
For us to get the grant. That was necessary for the application for the grant. So after all the strategic plan, the architectural feasibility study, and the grant application, that's kind of bringing us to where we are with the ideas that we got from all that information we've gathered is bringing us to where we are now. So
Sounds like a very timely process. Time consuming as well. It's probably.
yeah, but I think it was necessary to get us to where we are. That I think we're trying to relay the fact that we spent a lot of time listening to the community and paying attention to what they said they needed out of the library. So that's where we are.
And I'd like to add another point.
Sure, yeah,
Amanda's
go for it.
part of this and head of it all is the staff. The staff that we have at the library were very engaged in every step of the preparation project, which gave we who were, not professional doing this, a big insight into what they saw, what they thought the people needed, and what they also needed, which I think is led to, as part of this renovation, the staff, which was upstairs in a non-visible large room, is now going to be moved to the first floor.
Wow.
And that's Amanda's office will be there. And the room will have windows in it, And so they will, because they interact with the public, or at least their product interacts with the public. If you're a cataloger, it's not necessary. But I think that's important part of it. It also allowed us to take the space that was in the children's room on the first floor and move it upstairs and totally devote that other than storage and various, library function, that whole floor to be in a safer but unique space just devoted to them. And now Amanda will be on the first floor in a perhaps smaller office, but nonetheless a more visible, and because she'll be able to see.
Right.
And something else we're adding is, since I started out in meeting rooms, there will be an additional 65-person meeting room on the first floor.
Wow.
So we'll have that as in addition to the one on the upstairs, which also, holds about 65 people in a seating arrangement.
Right.
So that was one of our big needs, and I think we're meeting that really well.
Yeah, I think the also about that meeting room that we should have mentioned is that I think we heard through the community they needed meeting spaces before or after our normal operating hours.
Right.
So this new meeting room downstairs would be able to be in use with just before or after hours. It'll be closed off from the rest of the library. So, yeah.
Now, the other important question that I haven't asked yet, what are your hours of operation?
We are open Monday through Thursday, 10 to 8, Friday and Saturday, 10 to 5. And Sunday through the school year, we are open 1 to 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a lot of hours.
It is a lot of hours.
It requires a lot of staffing and scheduling to keep that staff. So, yep.
How many staff do you have?
We have about 25 people.
Oh,
We have a
wow.
lot of part-time people because we do operate at night, and we have about 4 service points. So we have someone on the reference desk, 2 people at circulation, and someone in the children's room. So a lot of our time spent at the reference desk is helping people understand or utilize the computers. So we have a lot of senior citizens that aren't digitally savvy, and we know that a lot of the way that people have to get around now, filing taxes, accessing Social Security benefits, you have to do that online, and a lot of people aren't comfortable. So a lot of time we spend at the reference desk, we're helping people feel comfortable with getting those services and understanding how to do it for themselves.
Yeah.
So.
Now, once the renovations start, can people still come in and get books and get reference materials?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
How's that gonna be handled?
I assume, because we're not there at construction stage yet, but we may have portions closed off for the general public that maybe we can only send staff into,
Right.
or maybe part of the collection will have to just shift aside or move closer so that they can work in certain areas, and then But as far as I know, that's our goal, is to stay open and to have as much as we can accessible as possible. So.
Now, if people want to donate to you,
We are more than happy. We are
Love
more
for
than
it.
happy to accept their donations. Yes.
how can they donate?
You can go to our website, which is actonlibrary.org.
Okay.
And right on the home page, there is a donate button.
Okay.
You could mail a check to the Acton Public Library and just in the memo say renovation fund. We are a 170C1, so we are tax exempt. So you would just talk to your tax advisor about how to utilize that the best way for your taxes. You could bring in cash. You could donate on the spot at the library.
And where can we donate? We have a 10-foot lighthouse set up in the middle of the library. And,
Really?
Yeah.
and which has computer access to the donation page, as well as place to leave donations by check or cash in it.
Really?
Yes, we hauled it around in the Torchlight Parade as one of the floats, our lighthouse.
Oh, that had to be cool to see.
Well, our slogan is we are a beacon to ideas.
Yes.
And so that brought in the lighthouse concept, and many businesses and associations in Old Saybrook use the lighthouse figure as a symbol of the town. Because we have 2 lighthouses, of course, in
That's right.
town, which are tourist, focused
Exactly.
too. But this is catching everyone's eyes, and it's a focus place to remind people to vote, to
No.
pay money,
No, you don't.
Donate?
donate.
You can't vote. Well, you can, but that's
Well, you
not.
can vote with your money.
Exactly. Yeah, no, exactly. And if people want more information, obviously the no donation is too small to.
Absolutely.
Sent-
That's absolutely true. Every little bit helps, and we are more than happy to take big or small donations.
And that was the function of this 50,000 matching gift grant, to
Right.
go to the small, donor that loves the library but maybe doesn't have a lot of money to spend. And the lighthouse in the lobby is for maybe even children being ready to put money in.
Right.
And that's called the Tucker family, second generation, this donation, the gift fund.
Really?
Yes, the Tucker family has been very, very beneficial to the library over many years.
Now, how long have you been with the library?
A little over 6 years now.
You like it?
Yeah.
Of course you do.
Of course I do. I was in Hebron before this, so it's this is my second time as a director. I've been I've been a librarian, for over 20 years. So.
And I'm sure there's a little difference between being a librarian
There is.
to
There is,
being a
but-
library director.
But the good thing is so I can schedule myself, and I work reference once a week, so I can still I get to do the librarian stuff.
To make sure you still got it, you throw yourself
Make
in
sure I
reference.
still know what's happening. Yes.
And people probably think you, hey, there she is.
Yep.
She's out doing.
Yeah, I like to. It's
Look
an awesome job. So.
Nancy, how long have you been involved with the library?
I think I've been on the Board of Trustees about 12 years and used it as a patron for much longer than that, about 24 years.
Oh, wow.
And it's a comfortable, welcoming place to visit.
I actually have to come down for a visit.
Yeah.
Okay,
Gotta-
we'll give you a tour.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. I'll tell you what. I'll come down before the renovations.
And then after.
And then I'll come down after the renovations.
That's a great idea.
Sure, we can do that. Now, if people want more information on the library, on the website, what can they find and where can they go?
What kind of information are you looking for?
What type of information can they find on the website? regarding the
That we
library?
have information on the project. We have information on the programs that we offer,
Okay.
the services that we have. All of our policies are there. Our hours. You can get to our catalog. You can request books through there. There's a whole wealth of information on our website.
You can probably even get a library card there.
You could start the process. Yes, we give you the physical one when you come in and visit us. Yeah, and we give you a nice little welcome bag with some information too about the town and the library services when you come in
Very cool.
and get your card. Yeah.
Well, we're about to run out of time, but before we do, I want to thank you guys for coming down, and hopefully you guys will come on again soon and give us an update of what's going on.
That'll be exciting. Thank
Yeah?
you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Pete.
it.
Thanks. On behalf of Nancy and Amanda, I'm Pete Mezzetti. Thanks, good night, and we'll see you next week.